Welcome to my channel. This is your Afrocentric grab gun queen. Today I will be teaching you how I make my grid patterns using both Gridjun and Stitch Fiddle. I'll be giving you this detailed tutorial to encourage you on how to pixelate your images and without necessarily following Pinterest patterns, the already made ones. I'm going to add my Afrocentric vibes to it. And so this is a basic image that I'll be taking you through a step-by-step process. And you know what is fun? I use my phone. I don't use any complex tablet or laptop. Of course, I have a tablet, but I basically do not use it for the grid pattern because I don't view on the phone. I use my phone to formulate the grid pattern, and then I get my laptop to view. Do you understand? And so you don't need any complex gadgets to pixelate your images. It's quite easy. You are making your pattern from scratch, and I will encourage you to watch this video and also recommend to others because my methods are totally different from the ones on YouTube because I wing it as I go and I try and test out my own ideas. I hope you love this video. So open your Google browser and type Gridjun free. I recently discovered Gridjun and I love this software for pixel images. So once you click on Gridjun, you log in with your email and password or create an account, and then you get this interface. I've been using Gridjun for quite some time. If you have watched my previous tutorials, I have the Ghana grid, the Brat airport, and so many patterns that will be coming on this channel. So please subscribe so that you not miss this. The interface has this plus orange button right on your top left corner. Once you click it, it will give you the opportunity to input the width and the length for the grid size. I inputted 12:14, so the length is 14, 12 is the width. This is because I'm looking forward to making a small cute image for my AirPod Pro cover. Let me introduce you to all those symbols on the top. The symbol circled is the brush tool. Once you drag the brush tool, it helps you paint a cell. The next symbol after the brush tool is the format painter. The format painter allows you to apply the same color in multiple areas. Once you click on the format painter, it changes to the bucket fill tool. The bucket fill tool helps you to apply the same color in adjacent areas. The eraser tool helps you to clean up the colored or filled grids. The eyedropper tool is quite simple to use. If you want to select a color that you feel like it's appropriate for filling in the space, you just click on the eyedropper tool and select that particular color and fill it in with the paintbrush tool. This particular circled button is actually not common, but it's available in the paid version. I think it can help you add text to your grids. This is the color quantization tool, which helps you quantify and classify similar colors. The next is the numbering of grid. If you want to number your grid, this button helps you number it so that reading it becomes very easier. This circled button helps you to read it or track the number of rows you are doing. And the last or final button helps you to add a cell or a column, okay? A cell, a row, or a column. It has several features you can play with. This can also help you delete an extra column or row that you don't want, or add or play along with it. I feel like Gridjun is the best when it comes to simplistic, beginner-friendly images because it makes it very crochetable. This tapestry AirPod Pro case I made was done on Gridjun. So this is the width and length I used overall. What I did is that I imported the image by clicking that side, that 3 bars, and it connects me to my gallery where I select any image of my choice. I went ahead to select the normal Ghana flag and it will be cropped and imported. At first, it gives you this blurry look, so it's up to you to fix it. So the color quantization button helps you to limit the colors. Using this as a reference, I go ahead to fix it by clicking on the paint brush or bucket fill icon where I can correct the colors and clear. So my priority was to make sure that the black star detail is in the exact middle. And we are working with a few grid boxes. To clean up the image, you fix the star. You can look at the reference picture and make sure you fix the star. And the reason why it is limited is because I wanted this flag in a small, I'm using it for a small project, and that is why. I think Gridjun is perfect for absolute small projects instead of more detailed projects. It also works perfectly for detailed projects, but I personally use it for small projects, like, you know, my Afrocentric. Maybe if I want to make a flag or something cute, I use Gridjun because it will break down the color in its basic form instead of taking all shades that you don't need. Gridjun makes it simple for it to be crochetable. You know, with Stitch Fiddle, this is not like a comparison. With Stitch Fiddle, it takes a lot of details, a lot of color works. You actually, if you actually reduce, it becomes very weird sometimes. And so Stitch Fiddle is a little bit complex for complex images, and you have to work your way out to it. But with Gridjun, it makes things easier. If you want simple pixel images with simple color works, this is the app for you, especially for beginners, because I don't recommend that you do complex, very complex projects. You start from small and work your way through to the top. So as you can see on your top, the buttons there on the second icon is like a paintbrush. That is when I select the colors that I want to fill in, and so you just tap in the box that you want to fill the color in. Sometimes it's pressed to other parts, so it's up to you to fix it. As you can see, I'm clearing it because when I tap the green, it went through to the yellow aspect, so I clear it and try to clean up and make it look more nicer. And so there are other options that are paid versions for this app. Like, for instance, if you want to number the grid boxes, which will help you read the image, um you have to actually have the paid version. But I just download the image, I export it onto my gallery, and I send it to my laptop where I manually number it. Okay, so this is a Taylor Swift pattern I've been working on, which was simple. And I just love Gridjun because it's simplistic. I also made this Brat AirPod case, and Gridjun is the app I used to make it, and I feel like it's the best when it comes to simple grid patterns. For this next reference picture, we are working with something simple. I'll input 25 grid boxes for the width and 15 grid boxes for the length, and so it will give me a blank canvas with boxes. I just click on those three bars and I import image by clicking on import image, and this is the image we are working with. So you see, this is a simple image, and you just crop it and work with it and then fix the color. It's like a blueprint for you to play along with it. So at first it's going to give you this blurry look, okay? And so that's when you put in the work by making sure that the black outline, because this is like just two colors, the white being the background color and the black being the main outline. And so it's up to you to clear. And so that's when the paintbrush option comes in, okay? So you just click on the paintbrush option and you start tapping on your screen, on your phone or tablet. Start filling the boxes, because now you are using black, okay? So wherever you want the black to be filled in, you are going to use the paintbrush option to fill it. And this is the basic and the most important tool when it comes to correcting your images using Gridjun, okay? Now the color picker tool will help you select a different color that you want. Assuming you wanted to change it to red or white, you can just pick the white background. If it's red, that means you can go ahead to select red as the color using the down button, the color palette button, which is beside the three bars or before the undo button right down there. Okay, and you can always undo your work if you feel like this is okay. So by clicking the undo button down there, and it's very easy to use, it's very beginner friendly. So now it's up to me to fill the important part. So please watch and see how my my brain works when it comes to working on grids. The main goal is to make the grids very crochetable. And you see, I've limited the colors to only 2, and I've cleared every other detail or grid box that has another color. So this is what we need to achieve. Last reference image is this simple Adoma logo written in black. I used a normal text up to achieve that. And so you realize that it's always blur. It's up to you to fix it, okay? So you can fix it by using the paintbrush pattern or changing colors using the color palette. I'm obviously going for the black and white feel, and so it's easy for me to work through with that. So this is the final outcome. No outline. It's just simple Adoma in simple plain text, and I cleared all the blurred spaces, and that's how I achieve simplistic grid images using Gridjun. Now let's go to Stitch Fiddle. So on your phone, you are going to type stitchfiddle.com on Google as usual. And then when you open the app, it will give you the interface. If you have not logged in, you can also log in, but you can see that I've already logged in with my account. And because I've been using Stitch Fiddle for some time and I have a lot of projects lined up here, so you click on create new chart, and then you click on crochet, choose crochet colorwork, which is the grab gun or tapestry we have been doing. Just click no preference from picture, and then I choose a picture from my phone. So I'm selecting this image of this beautiful, portrait of a dark skin. I took a picture of it, and then I went on cover and, removed the borders because the holes of the sides will be showing, and I cropped it in this perfect feature before I sent it off to my gallery to translate it into a pixel grid because I wanted to make the skirt. So that's how I translated a raw image. This is an actual image that is printed into a pixel graph. Isn't that fun? Click on done. It processes the image, and then I click on adjust settings. That's when extra settings starts popping up. I'll be able to adjust the colors. I'll be able to calculate the size or the number of rows for both width and height, and I'm able to play with colors and all that, and I love it. And so I'm going to do that here for you. So you realize that Stitch Fiddle has a lot of extra settings when it comes to, color works and all. It has picked the shades in so many forms when it comes to colors, and it also has the opportunity to make the size more extra large than the Gridjun app. And that is why I say Stitch Fiddle is for more detailed oriented or complex blanket projects or large projects. Now, since I've played with the contrast, I'm able to view. If I'm not satisfied with this, I'll click on edit grid and I can zoom in from the phone. You don't need a laptop for this. So I'm using my phone currently, my Samsung phone. Okay, and so that is what I do. I zoom in, try to correct here and there, try to limit the shade, and you can see that it is really detailed oriented, picking more shades. And so it's now time to clear it. So I'm starting from the lip. I'm just using the lip as an example. I'm not doing the whole image because it's going to take me a long time. And so you see, I'm clearing the shades around the grid boxes to limit it, trying to outline the lips. You have to be careful when doing this. Select the right color palette. So once you are satisfied with the color palette, I know it takes a long time to make it very, crochetable. Once you are satisfied, you just download the image by clicking the download button or download chat, and you download it in PDF. Guys, I feel like the PDF type is slept on. Okay, so you can either print it and attach it together because it will select the image in sections. So this image being divided in sections will help you read the grid pattern. Let's take a look at it. Starts from down actually when you are reading, so you realize that is rule 1 is numbered, and so that you are going to start from right towards left. When you end, you go and scroll to the next page and continue downwards just like that. Okay, till you get to the end of the row. Okay, where it ends is when the 2 begins from the side. So you start from the 2 and then you read downwards, and so it will be like you are reading 4 pages at the same time. And so let's see, I will just do a detailed tutorial on how to read using the PDF if you are using a small gadget to help you, if a lot of you request for that. But it's actually easy to figure out if you analyze the grid pattern. Okay, and so this grid pattern makes it easier for small gadgets. But if you have a big gadget like a laptop to view, you can just download it in PNG, and you just read it just like that. And also, when I'm using my laptop, I use the Paint app. The Paint app helps me mark every stitch that I read. Okay, it's important to make your crochet grids very readable so that you will not have problems skipping rows. Also, another option for reading rows is the row tracker. You see that square um, button on your top right corner on Gridjun. You can use it to read. And Stitch Fiddle also has one, okay, as part of the paid version. So it's not free, but Gridjun's own is free. You can also use Knitting Chat to read. There are several apps that you can use to read and keep track of your rows. That's really important. But as I said, I'm an old-fashioned person, so I do it the old-fashioned way. So you can see the numbers there. When I zoom in like that on my laptop, which will be in a very large setting, I just mark off every row. My advice to everyone who wants to explore Stitch Fiddle is to take your time and explore every button or every option so that you see how it works, because we cannot cover everything in this video. But if you subscribe to this channel, I'll be breaking down little details that will help you learn more about Stitch Fiddle. Now back to Gridjun. I'm trying to use the same image to generate the Gridjun version. So you can see that Gridjun has a lot of details as well. Okay, it becomes more realistic and it does not take a lot of shades as seen on Stitch Fiddle. And you can adjust the size, except that the size is limited. It's up to 165 grade boxes or rows. Okay, so it's limited, and when it becomes too much limited, you see how the image shrinks and it does not give you the details enough. It becomes also very blurry. I hope this tutorial was helpful. Yes, I will be doing more of Stitch Fiddle, grades, and tapestry intasha related content. So consider subscribing, turn on your post notification, and give this video a like if you want to see more on this channel, because I have realized that there are less tapestry related content, and so I want to do more of that. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.